As many as 1 million frozen embryos are preserved in storage facilities throughout the country, and most are leftovers belonging to couples who could not conceive naturally. These excess embryos raise challenging ethical questions. We're joined today by Dr. Zhang. He is the founder and medical director of New Hope Fertility, and he's here live in our New York studio. Dr. Zhang, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it. Let's just paint the picture, if you will, of what I call artificial insemination, but reproductive technology and where we are today and what you're able to do.
The advanced reproductive technology has been developed during the last 40 years. And at this moment, we almost can treat majority kind of infertility problem in the human fertility, and particularly in the male factor. So it witnessed a tremendous advancement during the last 40 years since the first IVF test tube baby who was born in 1978.
Mm-hmm. And the technology, as I understand it, doctor, has really progressed where it comes to preserving eggs, a woman's eggs. Being able to preserve embryos for a long time has sort of been around for a while.
Correct.
But with the eggs, now can you safely preserve them and then revitalize them, if you will?
Yes. So 3 key milestones of human reproduction. First, test tube baby. You make embryos in the lab, and secondly, it started to be able to overcome the major male factor to the sperm injection. But the third breakthrough in the human reproduction is currently a very efficient technology to cryopreserve the female oocyte, the eggs, for long-term storage, and practically you will not compromise the quality at all. It totally changed the way of the life in our society for the female.
This is good news for women who want to pursue their careers or other interests,
Absolutely.
Get married late, or just don't find the right person until later in life. But that doesn't negate an issue that exists right now. And as we said in the introduction, nearly 1 million embryos, fertilized eggs, sit in storage all around the country that are going unused. First of all, why are there so many?
Okay, so this we switch to the different subject from the egg freezing for the young ladies to the current big, not the question, but the factor that many fertility clinics have many, I won't use the word called leftover embryos, but there are quite a lot of number of embryos are sitting in the different clinics across our country. So where are they come from? What should we do with these embryos? So practically these embryos can create human beings. So it's a dedicated situation. Obviously, we cannot discard these embryos, but sometimes patients just have enough babies, and they really don't need these embryos. So how should we take care of these embryos now and the future? It is a big question.
It raises a lot of questions. It raises legal questions. It raises moral and ethical questions. I'm wondering, are there laws? What do you have to guide you in these situations where there are these unused embryos, and what to do with them? Yeah. How do you discard them? And do the parents have a say in it?
This is a good question. When the frozen embryo technology was invented 20 years ago, we never thought about so much about it. One day we have to deal with the question you just raised. There is no clear law, there's no clear guidelines, but one thing is clear, practically the patient who contributed to the production of this embryo, meaning the husband or wife, the sperm, the egg, had the final decision what they want to do with these embryos. They can discard it, they can donate for research, they can donate this embryo for other fertility couples. So that's basically.
Let me jump in because I'm almost out of time. I just have a few seconds left. And so do you think, in your point of view, that there should be some laws to address this? Because if the biological mother and father of that embryo don't agree what to do, then where is the rule of how to decide?
Yeah, just like in UK, I think we should slowly establish a workable and reasonable, logical guideline and the law system which will guide us how to approach this sensitive issue.
It is a very sensitive issue. Unfortunately, we can't solve it right here in 4 or 5 minutes. But
it's good we started to talk about it.
It's a good start, Dr. Zhang. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And coming up on Arise America, giant versus giant. Pop diva Taylor Swift goes up against Silicon Valley's Apple about artist royalties. Can the two sides mend their bad blood? You are watching Arise America.